Howdy y'all, and welcome back to the channel. Welcome to all of you golf club enthusiasts out there, and also welcome to all of my fairway flippers. That is the name that I've decided to call all of y'all that are also golf club resellers in the community that we're building here on YouTube. I racked my brain trying to come up with an idea or a name of like what I wanted to call the group and community that we're building on this channel. And originally I thought, oh my gosh, Mulligan Mafia. Like I thought it was a great name. Come to find out, it's been taken like 6 times by a bunch of other companies out there. The golf industry is so saturated with names with alliteration in them, and I have a fondness for names with alliteration in them, and so I was crushed when Mulligan Mafia was already taken. But Fairway Flippers is completely wide open and is what I have decided to call all of my fellow golf club resellers out there, or even resellers that want to dip their toe into the golf club game. Welcome back to the channel. If you are a fairway flipper, go ahead and like this video. Throw something down in the comments saying I'm a fairway flipper. It tickles the algorithm and gets this video out to other people out there that are just like us, and it also helps me get some more wash hours to get this video and this channel monetized. The whole goal behind this channel, behold, the golf club reselling situation for me is to get enough money to build a simulator so we can start comparing used clubs to new clubs and get a really nice YouTube facility set up in my house. With all that being said, here we go. We're going to go into the month of April. April has been the first month that I have been selling on 2 platforms. That's eBay and then stackedgolf.com. It has been scary selling on 2 platforms. It has been a learning experience selling on 2 platforms. And I truly think that I have grown as a reseller by selling on 2 platforms. It's shown me the difference in fees and how eBay just absolutely gouges you in fees. And then also shows me the benefit that eBay gets you in the support that they give you for returns, for items not being paid for. There is a lot to dig into that is probably going to be its own video in the differences between selling on eBay and other platforms. But I would like to say right now that I would not have had the success that I had this month if I were not to be selling on 2 platforms. Diving into the data here, last month I made $822 in profit off of $3,359 in gross sales. My average net per sale was $26.52, which is down from months previously, but I actually have been struggling sourcing this past month. Most of my PGA stores, my Golf Galaxies, even my Play It Again Sports have been completely cleaned out, as is normal as the golf season gets into full swing. So I'm really starting to lean into Facebook Marketplace a little bit more here. My average net profit margin was 24% for the month. And diving even deeper into the metrics here, my net return by source is number 1, the PGA Store, number 2, Play It Again Sports, number 3, Facebook Marketplace, 4, Golf Galaxy, 5, Replay Sports, and then number 6, as you can see here, is NR. That means no receipt, because I bought this club so long ago and did not document it. I don't know where it came from. This was probably one of the first clubs that I picked up on my entire reselling journey. So lesson for those of you at home, always keep your receipts and document how much you're spending on all of your inventory. Now, I do think it is really important to call out here that I made just south of $550 on eBay and a little bit more than $275 on stackedgolf.com. But the important thing to note here is that I did not have all of my listings that I had on eBay listed on stackedgolf.com. So in order to get a really good representation of how much I'm selling on each site and to compare the two, honestly, I need to cross-list everything that I have on eBay onto stackedgolf.com. I do already have to let y'all know that I've already messed that up this month, because I have sold 2 things on eBay that I did not have listed on stackedgolf.com as I have been sitting here filming this video. So My promise to you is that for the rest of the month, I will have everything cross-listed, which means I have a very long night ahead of me cross-listing stuff from eBay onto stackedgolf.com. My 10th best sale of the month was this Mizuno MP54 Forged 3 Hybrid Iron. I bought this for $24.48 and sold it for $70 plus $15 in shipping. I originally bought this at a set of 3 clubs. I associated most of the cost to this 3 iron because I knew it was more than likely the club that was going to sell the fastest. My ROI was 131% with a net return of $32.18 for this one club. This club is for players that struggle to hit a 3 iron, which is normally the profile of a butter knife off of a tee. It gives you much more forgiveness and a little bit more oomph to get the ball a little further down the fairway. My number 9 sale of the week was another Mizuno. This was a Mizuno MX233 3 iron. I bought this for $16.31 from a Play It Again Sports, and this is the first item that we're going to talk about that I sold on stackedgolf.com in the top 10. So it's going to look a little bit different metrics wise. It doesn't break out shipping as far as the total cost on Flipwise. I have to go in and put everything in manually. So I sold this for $64.10. I charged the same shipping that I do on eBay on stackedgolf.com. So I sold this essentially for $49.10 plus $15 in shipping. Now, Stacked Golf does, or I should say the district platform which sponsors stackedgolf.com, say that 10 times fast, does give you the option to buy your labels through their platform, much like eBay does. But I've decided to try to use Pirate Ship, which is a shipping platform, to buy labels through in order to support my sales through stackedgolf.com. And so I only paid $8.69, where I normally on eBay spend anywhere from $12 up to $15. So it's an additional $4-ish in profit if you want to look at that. I do think you can also use Pirate Ship for eBay, but I just tend to do everything through the eBay platform just because it feels nicer. I may branch out. I've seen a bunch of other resellers that use Pirate Ship for their shipping just because it is a little bit cheaper than eBay's discount that they get. I ship only through UPS, so it may change depending on which provider that you're using, but I ended up making $32.34 on this club, which is an ROI of 198%. Next up on the list is our first iron set of the month. This was a set of Titleist AP1 718 irons, 4 through pitching wedge. I bought this for $270.61 and then sold this for $390, which is $370 plus $20 in shipping. I do charge $5 more in shipping for iron sets because the weight difference is 9 pounds versus a single club, which I estimate to be about 3 pounds, just so I can cover everything that a single club can be. Shipping on this cost $18.64. So in total on this, I made a net profit of $35.29, which is an ROI of 13%. Next up was this absolutely gorgeous Callaway AI Smoke 9 wood. I bought this from a PGA store along with a ping iron set in the same transaction. And the reason that I bring that up is because once I went up to the counter, I asked if they could take a discount off of the transaction for me, and they took 10% off really without any hassle at all. So if you are buying used golf clubs from the PGA store and even Golf Galaxy, I think it is worth your while to ask if there is anything that they can do on a used club, because in this case they took 10% off without even asking. I bought this club for $135.30 and then turned around and sold it just a couple days later for $225. That was $210 plus $15 in shipping, and I was actually upset because it sold so quickly because I desperately wanted to take this club with me to play golf with. If you look on YouTube, golf 5, 7, 9, and even 11 woods are the hot clubs to have right now in your bag, and I really desperately wanted to see if this club could shave a couple of strokes off of my game. I ended up shipping this for only $10.84, which gives me a net return of $45.22 on this club, which was good for an ROI of 33% and a net profit margin of 20%, and we will never know if this club could have absolutely transformed my golf game. The next club on our list for the best sales of the month comes to this Nike Vapor Pro left-handed adjustable driver. I bought this at a Replay Sports for $32.48. When I went into this Replay Sports, I found a cornucopia of left-handed clubs that I did decide to take home with me because they were dirt cheap, and I know that there's only 4% of the golf world that is left-handed, and these clubs are going to stick around in my inventory for quite some time. But I have found that left-handed clubs generally on eBay sell for more than they do for their right-handed counterparts just because of the scarcity of supply. I sold this for $121.99. That was $106.99 plus $15 in shipping. I did get hit with the shipping bug on this one. I got hit with $20.32. This is a known issue with eBay and UPS right now. UPS is incorrectly measuring the boxes, and they are conflicting with what the measurements that eBay is forwarding to them are. It is a known issue. If you call customer service, they're flagging it, and they should be asking UPS to give a type of refund back to the eBay seller. I've gotten 2 refunds already on this issue, but this gives me a net return of $47.32 before any refunds and an ROI of 146%, which gives me a net profit margin of 39%. I'm curious if you have been hit with a back charge from UPS selling golf clubs on eBay. Leave me a comment down below because I'm curious to see how many other people are getting impacted on clubs that they're selling. I think I got hit 4 times last month with the issue that's currently going on. The 5th best flip last month was this Callaway Fusion right-handed driver. I bought this at a PGA store when I absolutely blacked out and spent $700 on used golf clubs at the PGA store at one time. I bought this for $65.12 and then turned around and sold it for $164, which was $144 plus $20 in shipping. Shipping did cost me $23.60 on this driver, which gives me a net return of $47.44, an ROI of 73%, and a net profit margin of 29%. If you want to see me go and spend that much money in the PGA Tour Superstore, I will have that video linked at the end of this video. Next up was yet another Mizuno golf club. In this case, it was Mizuno MP54 iron set. This was the 6-iron all the way through pitching wedge. I bought this from a Play It Again Sports for $119.89 and sold this for $235. That's $220 plus $15 in shipping. I don't know why I didn't charge the full $20 in shipping here. I think it was just an error on my end, but I got hit with a shipping cost of $23.58 on this iron set. My net return was still $48.74, which leaves me with an ROI of $41 and a net profit margin of 21%. Next up was this Scotty Golo 33-inch right-handed putter with the cover. I sold this on stackedgolf.com. I bought this for $139.73 and sold it for $233.54. That was $218.54 plus $15 in shipping. Shipping only cost me $11.62 through Pirate Ship here, which gives me a net return of $53.04 and an ROI of 38% and net profit margin of 23%. I've had this since August of last year. I thought this was going to be a very quick flip with it being a Scotty Cameron with the cover in really great shape. But it took me 8 months to flip this one, so you really don't know sometimes, even though the sell-through rate looks good and the price feels good. But in this case, I'm really happy to sell it after 8 months. Next up is yet another Mizuno item in the top 3. I sold this Mizuno Tezoid oversized iron set on stackedgolf.com. I bought this for $25 in a Facebook Marketplace buy with a couple of bags and over 25 clubs. I took the total, which was $200, and divided it up by club, and I added a little extra on the items that I knew were going to sell for big money. I sold this for $100.80 plus $15 in shipping, so $115.80. The shipping cost on this ended up being $21.05, which means I brought a net return of $56.59 home for an ROI of 226% and a net profit margin of 49%. I'm actually laughing to myself that this was another Mizuno item, knowing that the next item is another Mizuno item. So a lesson learned to all of you: Mizuno stuff is selling like hotcakes right now. Number two, and I'm actually laughing to myself right now because I didn't realize this when I went through my sales in order to get ready to film this video, that I had an absolute Mizuno Renaissance this month. This is a Mizuno staff bag that was bought in the same purchase as the Mizuno iron set that I showed previously in the last item sold. I bought this for $100. This was part of that $200 buy. I sold this for $170 plus $50 in shipping on stackedgolf.com. I ended up only shipping this for $330.66, which means that I got a net return of $65.15, an ROI of 65%, and a net profit margin of 30%. I guess if it is Mizuno, it is selling right now. I can't say it enough. I just can't believe that I had this much Mizuno sell in 1 month. I am normally a ping fanatic, but I think I'm being pulled over to the Mizuno side. This is just, it's just mind-blowing to me. I don't know anything else that I can say here about Mizuno and what it did for me this month. And the number one sale for all of April was this Callaway Women's GES iron set. I bought this for $43.29 at a Play It Again Sports, and I actually sat on it and did not get around to listing this for about 15 days. It sold in less than an hour after I listed it. I sold this for $220. That's $170 plus $50 in shipping. And this was my first time shipping a bag and an iron set together. I had to buy a massive box. It was 48 by 15 by 15. So I got hammered on the shipping. My cost of ship was $60.10. But with all of that being said, I still had a net return of $79.26, an ROI of 183%, and a net profit margin of 36%. This is just a lesson to myself. I have a rule that if I buy it, I list it immediately. I had so much going on. I just kept putting this off, and it sold in less than an hour for full asking price. So if you ever are sitting on inventory, I know there are people out there that schedule their listings out in advance, which I think is incredible to do. But if you have less than 100 listings like me, if you buy it, list it, get it out there. You can't catch a fish unless you have a line in the water. And in this case, I sat on a sale that I could have used to buy more clubs for quite some time, with it selling in less than an hour of being listed. Y'all, if you made it this far, just drop Mizuno down in the comment section. I think it was over half, maybe just under half of the items that were sold were Mizuno. I didn't do any type of acknowledgement to that when I was actually going through and taking the screenshots to build the top 10. That is amazing. That is just really amazing. I just wanted to thank you if you've made it this far in the video. We almost have 1,400 subscribers on the channel. And if you are a reseller, I just want to call out The Bargain Buyer is another YouTube channel for an everything reselling type of video that you want to take a look at. And also Phoenix Sales 85, another guy that really is selling high volume. So if you're interested in that, definitely take a look at it. I just love the community, my fairway flippers that we are building here on the channel. I did try to reach out to Primo, which is the polo that I'm wearing right now, to see if I can get a discount code, and was met with absolute crickets. That stung a little bit, I'll be honest with you. I did put a poll out on the channel to see if anybody would like me to do any type of polo reviews, because I am a connoisseur of golf polos, much to my wife's chagrin, but that was met with pretty positive reception, so I'll probably drop a quick short or something on the polo to see if that gets any response. And then I also reached out to Tacomo and was also met with crickets. So we're going to keep trying. You know, I'm not going to take no for an answer. I want to see if I can get some clubs sent to me that I can test out on the range and then compare them to what's in my bag right now, or just give you all some discount codes with some really great golf brands that are out there. If you made it this far, again, just thank you, and I'll come out with another video midweek. Until then, hit them straight.